Hello, Divine Sunshiners. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. Hello, and this is Divine Unisouls. I have been pretty much, it's like a person said, can we talk first? These energies have been ever shifting. There has been truly time in which I had to just kind of pull away from everything. This video and channel had thrown me so much into my masculine energy. So much so that, again, it's feeling like the old commercial where it says Dunkin' Donuts, it's time to make the donuts. Until I just felt like I had to kind of like pull back and say, you know, what does Bertina want? What does Bertina feel? Can I really feel? I was so much making sure that you all had the message and that what Spirit had brought to me, that I didn't take time out to really marinate and sit with the messages myself. They will channel too, and I know it's about giving and getting it to you, but at the same time, I had to learn how to be selfish, because a lot of times that's even in life. I was making sure everybody's okay, but at the end of the day, it's like, what do you want? And not knowing. And so Spirit had me really pull back and really become like a butterfly and just melt down everything. I have moments of where I could see where I was going to be, what I wanted to be, and then I was like, okay, I'm ready to emerge. And then I say, okay, I'll go back to meltdown again. Not quite ready, not quite there. I remember listening to a minister, T.D. Jakes, had talked about the metamorphosis of a butterfly and saying that with the metamorphosis, although you're a butterfly, you still have old parts, you still have old memories. And trying to learn how to deal with the shadow and be okay with the shadow. Like I was talking to a friend and telling her to be okay with not being okay. Giving myself permission to do that. I think that even in this spiritual walk, we get to a point that we always are trying to, especially in ones in leadership, we're trying to be so much, you know, I don't want to be a hypocrite into what I'm saying. But, you know, on this walk, and especially being human, we have to understand that sometimes it's okay to say, you know what, I was wrong. That was a mistake. It was that way. And we know the Spirit is ever changing and evolving. And it might have been okay yesterday, but today is a whole different story. Or yesterday I thought that was the truth, and today I'm seeing that it's not. Really, truly getting into the vulnerability part of it, in times of really at the point that I pulled away even from what we call the divine masculine, in the 3D. Just saying, I can't even deal with your energy. I can't even deal with mine, because I can't even tell where mine begins and where yours begin. We're just that, and I gotta really see what do I want in this. You know, I'm understanding that again, and I feel that even in the Spirit, that 2023 is a year of change, and that it is going to be something more magnificent, and a lot of openings, a lot of things of new changes and openings in love. Again, of me being on this channel and really being transparent and not being scared to say about it. I think a lot of times I was scared about the membership and the subscriptions and subscribers, about what I'm saying. Does it rub right, if it's wrong? It really truly is trying to strengthen the throat chakra, because a lot of times I know things that I say is a little bit ahead of the curve. And I know I am saying pretty much what's out there. I say it first, and then other people will say it also as well on other channels. And I said that, you know, and I was like, okay. And really having confidence in knowing that what I'm saying is really, truly being an instrument and channeled, and it's given to me. And then even believing in myself and knowing what I'm saying is 100% true. We've grown to that. We've gotten to that. A lot of things. And like I've said, and I've always said I wanted to do a podcast. I had to let that go too for a while, going hiatus. It's like it's too much pumping. It's not authentic. It's really the ways social media is kind of set up is that you got to constantly be feeding it, like that Seymour thing. And sometimes when you're trying to learn and you've been in that masculine energies from a lot of lifetimes, and you're trying to really shift into being a feminine and just being, observing and manifesting and creating, because the spirit and the timing is right. That whole thing of really with the social media, if you're like that, it kind of goes against that wave of principle, that if you're looking for an end product, which is like how many people are watching me, how many subscribers are looking and seeing, that determines if I'm successful or not. Now get into a new thing of just wanting to be significant and just helping to make a change. So again, might be seeing me on YouTube, might be seeing me on TikTok, again, ebbs and flows wherever it feels like I need to be, but I know that I want to help in making change in the universe in a lot of ways. And me, if how I kind of go with the wind goes and the flow of everything, and I ebb and flow, really coming to that point of appreciating who I am and how I've came to be. Even in that, I know beforehand it was, but now it's just, I guess, things that we had said before, even if you all is on this journey and seeing that you're coming from a new headspace now. And a lot of stuff, this you can take stock in. It's more grounded. It's not just words because it sounds cute or it's cliche-ish, or you should be saying it, but you're not really quite, something in your spirit is not backing it up. And we're not into that. So I wanted to kind of come in and seeing about the new energies and saying about, what is this new year bringing in that we have. I know they said new moon, I believe is in Capricorn or whatever energies is in there, whatever. But just seeing what this new energies that's bringing in. We got a new year. Really, I'm in agreement with that what has been kind of shown to you this month or these past 3 months has been a real good preview as to what you're going to be dealing with for the first quarter, or it says 3 months, 3 months of the year, and then you're kind of like finishing out a little bit. It's kind of like an overlay from the last year too as well, and some and so it's kind of already has revealed itself. I remember listening and hearing someone saying that, if you set your intentions in January, it's pretty much, it's a wrap. It's too late because the year has already been revealed itself pretty much 3 months in, which is kind of true. November, October, November, and December. You should have been kind of resetting yourself. This one is. And, this is again for us that have been on this journey for a while. Where it is a tangible love, they're saying, that's going to come in. And that tangible love could be in so many ways. It could be a person, again. And let's be honest, on some of this journey, we've been at this quite a while. And some of us need that other person there in order to help us to expand and grow and say that, what we have practiced. Because again, we are humans, and again, we're being divine, and sometimes that other person that can step in can help us to grow and to get to that next step. It's not like somebody's saying take it literally, because I'm noticing us that's still kind of dealing with the shadow and the distortion of us. What I see where we are now, and even the people that I've talked to in our circles, we're asking a lot of questions, and we're being very extremely literal in everything, and we're just very sensitive. We're very kind of raw at this point. It's not porous. It's a raw of things, and we've got to kind of watch the way in which we are dealing with this rawness. We kind of like a little tender And that could be also like us as a butterfly. It's just, again, tender, vulnerable, but protective too. But we got to kind of watch the protectiveness that we have, and it should be, but again, still be open, remain to be open at the same time. And it's a lot of changes and shiftings in the energies too as well. I know with my sinuses, and I can tell with my eye when I see other kind of like dimensions and shapes and things that is occurring in the eyes. That means there's other dimensions that are opening, another new way of seeing things. So we're pretty much kind of coming to that too as well. And we got to watch it. I'm seeing we getting extra, and it's just kind of really all of that stuff is just rising to the surface a little bit. Give people grace while you're going through that, understanding that, again, like I have to talk to myself too as well at the same time, saying, people have the right to ask questions. They have to, for clarity. The old me would be like, why they ask? And they got, is that people are asking for explanations now, just for clarification, making sure that they're on the same page as you. Take some patience with that, especially with the thing that's going on. I'm seeing, and even talking to my best Malayan sister as well, this understanding of the things that should have, not have, those things, the grief of understanding of new dimensions, people passing on, and death. Understanding that, we getting to that point of understanding that death is not really truly being dead. It's just another dimension in which people are expressing themselves. I wish that I could really truly get that out to, other people of understanding, even with me and my relationship with my dad, even with my mom. Her understanding, she drifts in from understanding it to not understanding that there is no death. It's just, again, and it's hard, especially when it's somebody, a loved one, and used to being with them in the body, and that, and they will tell you they really don't want you to grieve for them. They don't want it to the point that it stops you from you being able to maintain and shift and flow where you are. And I think really when we're talking about death, and I know it's during this season, it's kind of those kind of energies are. Some of you all have been kind of a little extra sensitive to it, and a little kind of in between, holding on energies of depression, or you feeling kind of heavy during this time. Remember, again, it's a lot of people that lost people, and there's a lot of that energies floating around, and especially if your soul is signed up to be able to take on the collective's energy and to clear out for them. Understand that you're just a little extra. Again, that would be porous of taking in other energies as well. And so we have to, be cognizant of that, and remember that some of these energies are not ours. But I really want us to understand that the passing of Twitch, the dancer, which is some of you are not knowing that, how I kind of throwed everybody off for a loop. That really set a thing for me to kind of really start sitting with my energies of saying, you know what, if I'm not okay with what's going on, I need to really express it. And not only express it to myself, I think even of us on this twin flame journey, we're so busy about, make sure that we're in service for others. And some of us are not, maybe you say you're new, and some of us old, are not really in touch with our feelings of what's going on. And really saying, you know what, it's all right to feel the dark side, of it, that Darth Vader, the shadow side, and really go into depth and feeling it. Where we go wrong is when we stay in it and we become one with it, and it's hard for us to shake it. And we don't we let it, again, through our emotional body, where we don't fight it. We come to terms with it. We come to a part of acceptance of it. And that's where I am now with this thing, with those feelings come up, no longer judging myself about it, that it's come up like, okay, where does this stuff come from? That's kind of evil, those things. And so, that's the same thing with not only myself, but also seeking someone to talk to and let others know. We always have that thing that's on Facebook that talks about with the strong people, check on your strong people, because a lot of times people assume that they are all right. And Twitch, in so many words from the outside, and I don't know him personally, but from what the persona that he had portrayed on the outside seemed like a person that was very much concerned about the happiness of others, making sure that, especially when you're in entertainment. I know that from growing up as a violinist, dancer, all that stuff. Your thing is all about the feelings and the energies of others. And it also feeds you to know if you're doing all right. And sometimes it's a hard cycle to kind of get out of, because you're always thinking about what about others, what are they thinking about, did they like it? The way that I'm able to really truly understand if they like it is through the applause or through the accolades, or them people stopping me afterwards and saying, good job, and that could be kind of a form of addiction. You can be addicted to highs that you're on, and you hear a lot of entertainers saying that too as well. And with him, a lot of things are happening. I pulled cards on that one too. I got to go back and reread on that one. But my thing is that, the shock of everybody saying, oh my God, I can't believe it. I cannot believe he had did that. And, but he was just so happy, and it just seemed like he's so much about the entertainment. But, we could always be, I don't know why I'm seeing like that black face where, we're smiling the tears of a clown, when nobody's around. We could always be about the entertainment and making sure everybody else is shining light for everybody else. But we have to remember to make sure that we come to terms with ourselves when we're not all right. And when we're not all right, to tell somebody, no, I'm not all right with it, rather they hear it, they don't hear it. Maybe you have to keep on telling somebody till they do hear it, or pay somebody professionally to hear you, like a therapist, like I do. They say, what, I'll tell everybody else, and everybody's kind of like, yeah, you all right, you do X, Y, Z, blah, 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 you'll be okay. And you're like, no, it ain't settling right. And then you have somebody again that be able to tell you, what, your feelings are valid. You don't feel this way because of X, Y, Z. This is what you should do. These are some suggestions. Have you thought about this? Maybe where you are in the space, let's look and see it's not really truly that bad. And let me point it to you from a professional standpoint why it's not. And that's why it's important. You don't want to ever get to that point. Like, again, the solution is to, just off your life like that. I think about also one of my friends had posted on Facebook about it, and the person went in, I don't know who they were, responded to her that said that, I think he's just selfish. How could you end your life like that? You got children and X, Y, and Z. And, I was listening to the talk, and they were saying that today, that, when you're in that state like that, you can't feel love. Love is not even, you can't even comprehend love at that point. You're in your own little zone there, and it's just all about the pain. And that is where you are. And many of us, and I know even with myself, have had gotten to that point that, you're feeling like, okay, suicide is about the only way I could probably get out of this. Or you feel like you might say that because somebody popped the thing. Or you might feel that you have to do that because you want attention. I told you, but you're not listening to me. In my case, that's what it was. But, my thing is that we have to, these feelings that are coming up with, we've got to be able to deal with it in a way in which we are honoring what's actually going on with us, inside of us. And this is what, again, through that, having that emotional body and ourselves coming to one and coming to terms of getting out. We got a lot of little energies that are still there fluttering around in our energy field or within our cells and stuff, whether it's through epigenetics or it's either past family or whatever like that, that's got to kind of work its way out before you could be able to have this union with even yourself or the very thing that you want, or this relationship. Again, like I said in the video I did on I've been to the mountaintop, I've seen how the end point of the relationship of being with your twin flame can be, if that's what you really are aiming for. There's a lot of stuff that you have to get to the point of is really no judging, no judgment here, no judge zone, that you're not really worried about. You don't have a second thought to things, or you're not questioning of things. And if we can't get a handle on this mindset of us questioning on the questioning after questioning, and not trusting and not knowing what we know because we just know it and we don't question it, it's going to be a problem with us getting there to that mountaintop. And I'm just being, again, transparent and 100%. Because if we're questioning everything, and like I had seen that in a relationship that had been shown to me, I've got to truly be at the point of trusting and just knowing and relying on intuition and awareness that where my twin and I, or my other self, or my partner, or the soulmate, or the one, or my divine lover, that this mind that likes to play these Jedi mind tricks can no longer exist there. And if we still doing Jedi mind tricks to ourselves, we are not going to be able to hold, sustain, wherever it is, this utopia or this heaven or this euphoria of a relationship or situation, or whether it's money, abundance, relationships, family, business, or whatever, if we cannot get a handle on us questioning and that mind over and over again, turning over things as many times as my dad blowing the nose on that one Kleenex. If you all been rocking with me on these videos over and over again, till I'm like, dude, it's time to give up the Kleenex. You can't keep on blowing on that one thing. You done turned it 50 million different times, and it's time to let it go. If we gonna keep on harping on stuff like that, that type of love and that type of free-flowing love and that thing right there in that situation, it cannot exist. We are going to kill it with our mind, simply. And that's what I'm working on, is to get control of understanding the mind, the ego, say thank you, I need you to kind of, again, coax and to motivate me to get in there. But after that, thank you, I got it on my own. This is where we are right now, of really truly understanding. That's what they're talking about, that next dimension beyond the mindset or the 3D knowing, but going in there in existence of that awareness of just being in that intuition and letting that take over, where you can feel, yes, I could trust this love. Yes, I could trust what they're saying. Yes, I could trust that the money, me going in here and letting go of my job and truly going into this business, I could trust that. I don't have to worry about the customers because I know the customers are going to come. I don't have to worry about the money because I know it already in this mindset. Just be showing up automatically. This money is going to come to me. I already know this already. And so that part. But if you back in that 3D knowingness and that mindset of you asking, where's the customers? Do I need to put out more advertisements? Do I need to do X, Y, and Z? I ain't heard nobody. Did they like my product? all of that stuff is going to, this is underlying self-sabotaging that we have is something that we've got to deal with. You know, I like my fireside chats, and I think that we are pretty much overdue for that again. I pray that again, that this message that will resonate for some, motivate for a lot of you all, and get you moving off your behind to make the change that is needed in order to make space and room for this new chapter that we are about to embark on. This new chapter is again, if we were God willing and let it be, could be everything that will be beyond our own minds knowing. It could blow our mind. It could take us to the next level in ways that we had never, and surprise us in ways that we have never even had expected and expanded, if we just allow it to. But if we let the mind and these 50 million questions or overdoing and overthinking it and trying to fill in the blanks where it just should just be left open, and not try to fill it in with assumptions, because the ego is going to do that. You know, I don't have an answer, so let me help you out and find something. Sometimes it's not, and I done had a many of them masculine or many of them say sometimes it is no answer to something. It just really isn't. It's not an answer. It's just to be left alone with that. And when we're talking about in relationships or just period in things in general, then I'm trying to do that as well. And so that's the divine using them as a channel to say sometimes there is no explanation. It just is. Okay. All right then. So I thank you. I hope that this greets you again. Subscribe again. Make sure you hit that notification bell, because when I'm on here, that will help you to know when I'm on here and I have a message that I believe that you need to hear from spirit and my spiritual guides. And so again, make sure you hit the subscription bell so that way you'll be notified when I'm on here and I'm giving a message. All right, the next one probably will be I will be giving, I said 5:30. I'll be giving some information about what this new year is bringing to us and what's the energies that we should be working on with. All right, until next time, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste and Namago. Love you. Until next time, be talking to you real soon.